What's going on, everybody? Ricky Robinson here with 2xR Media, back with another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Samyang 12mm f2 autofocus lens and the VILTROX 13mm f1.4. In this video, we're going to be comparing the colors. We're going to be comparing the stabilization. We're going to be comparing the autofocus. We're going to also be comparing the size and weight. And how much does it blur out the background? Can you guys see much of my background? Is it blurred at all? I mean, they're probably about arm's length. This is the 13mm and this is the 12mm Samyang. VILTROX is all metal. It is a 62mm filter thread. It has an aperture ring. It weighs about 420 grams. So that's almost the same weight as the X-s10. The Samyang is all plastic with a rubberized focus. There is no aperture ring. It has a 62mm filter thread. Again, it's very compact, very small. This is what the VILTROX looks like on the X-s10. And this is what the VILTROX 13mm looks like on the X-T4. Now this is the Samyang. This is what the Samyang looks like on the X-s10. And this is what the Samyang looks like on the X-T4. You guys can see the difference. The VILTROX is pretty big, but for f1.4, I think it's pretty standard for the size and the weight. It feels very premium. I'm going to show you guys some pictures that I took. I'm not a photographer, so sorry if some of these are not that great, but this is with the autofocus. This is all auto, so I let the camera decide what to do. The separation in the VILTROX, of course, it's an f1.4, but it's a lot more creamy in that background. I'm going to be trying some low light video, and in a separate video, I'm going to be trying some low light with the VILTROX f1.4. Try to do like a cinematic type video with the VILTROX f1.4 in low light. So that'll be in another video. So next, my final thoughts on both of these lenses. First off, as a fast prime for the Fuji X system, I think the VILTROX is one to beat. For the price, it's $429 on the Pergear website and the VILTROX website. It's an awesome lens. You may have to wait a little bit. I had to wait. I ordered this thing, pre-ordered it on February 20th. I didn't get it until recently. You may have to wait a little bit. It's coming from China. The Samyang, I got it used. I got lucky. It's normally I think about 500 bucks. So it's a little bit more expensive than the VILTROX is right now. But for the size, I think it'll be a good vlogging lens if they ever figure out what's going on with the IBIS. I'm not sure what's going on with it, if they can fix it, if they have to work with Fujifilm and maybe get a firmware pushed out for it. So, as you guys can see, I'm talking to the VILTROX a lot more just because I am a fan of this lens. I came from the Canon M50, and on that camera, I used the 16mm f1.4 from Sigma, about the same price, in the 400 range, and I love that lens. It's definitely a lot of people's go-to lenses. I sold it to someone that also does YouTube videos. Shout out to El Loco's Garage. I'll link his channel down in the description if you guys are looking for car content. He does some nice car content. So I'm hoping to get the 16mm f1.4 and some of those other Sigma lenses for the X mount, but I'm really holding out for the f2 constant compact Sigma lens that's coming out for the X mount. Hopefully it comes out. They haven't really said it was coming out yet, but there's a rumor that it's coming out, so I'm hoping for that lens. The Sigma, if you're doing it for photography, you're perfectly fine. If you're doing it for something like this where it's on a tripod, also you're perfectly fine. But the walking around, which I think this lens should be pushed more for a vlogging lens because of the wide focal length, I think it would be perfect. The size, the weight, it's half the size and half the weight of the VILTROX lens. So adding it to an XS10 to me is perfect. It has the IBIS, it's small, it's compact, it's easy to use. Using it on something like the X-T4, it'll work. Also, I mean, you have a bigger body, so it looks even smaller on there. The VILTROX, using it on the X-T4 and walking around without a cage, it might be okay, but I don't know if you guys can notice, but I walked around quite a bit while I was testing the IBIS, and it got pretty heavy. Arms got a little tired. So walking around with that lens and that camera body, or any body that's in that weight, you're definitely gonna feel it. But again, these are two great lenses on two great cameras. If you guys are looking for third-party lenses, or looking for lenses at all, if you guys are thinking of switching to Fujifilm, but you're worried about the third-party lens selection, I think VILTROX at the moment cannot be beat. You have a lot of different focal lengths. You got the 23, 33, you got the 56, and you have the 85mm. They're all fast primes. A lot of people use them to shoot weddings, and they shoot their videos. So the VILTROX is a great system. Sigma's starting to get out there and make lenses. There's a lot of other lenses coming down the pipe. They're both pretty silent. The Samyang to me is a little bit more quiet than the VILTROX. The VILTROX, you can hear some of the noise when it's focusing, but it's not horrible. Again, this is the VILTROX and this is the Samyang. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, I would appreciate a like, a comment. If you want to share it, if you have friends that are looking for camera bodies, you can share this with them and let them see what these lenses can do. So this is Ricky Robinson with 2XR signing out. Peace.